In the pallid light cast by a lone lumen, Brother Captain Cralion of the Order Hereticus slowly pulled the ornate coin from his breastplate. It gleamed with an otherworldly radiance in the dimness of his chambers. A sigil that bore two contradictory symbols within its ring, one signifying summons and the other indicating sanctity. The sigillum imperatoris was a thing of legend, said to compel even the Emperor's most august subjects into service. With it clutched tightly in hand, Brother Captain Cralion had boarded the black ship Erebus as part of an inquisitorial inspection team, his duty clear. Ascertain why this vessel, the proud harvesters of 5,000 psychic tithe, had suddenly gone dark. By the grace of the Emperor, he intoned to himself as steel-faced sisters of silence escorted him through a corridor lined with captive astropaths. Their eyes glazed and vacant, these unfortunate souls hung in stasis pods like so much livestock awaiting market, a chilling testament to their binding success or failure. The captain paused before one particular pod marked by an additional black tear streaked across the cover. This one bore no name, but rather a single word emblazoned with cold fire: expiate. Its occupant had clearly not made it to stage 900 of the Scholastica Sacana. This one was still screaming. Cralion reached out, his fingers brushing against the metal as he hesitated. He thought back to his own trial at age 7, a blur of pain and echoes that later became a dull whisper in the chambers of memory, and wondered which torment awaited him here within this accursed ship. Steeling himself for what was to come, Cralion's thoughts turned to penance and purification. The door to the captain's quarters slid open with an ominous hiss. Inside stood the ship's infamous Captain Collector, a woman whose very name sent shivers down the spine of even the most hardened psyker hunters. Before him sat a man bound by chains too fine for mortal hands, his face obscured by a mask that had once been pure silver, but was now tarnished with darkness. "Brother Captain," she greeted in tones as hollow and cold as the void itself. "You come seeking answers to questions we have long forgotten." Cralion advanced into her presence unblinking, each step deliberate. He would not be swayed by charm or threat. He held up the sigillum imperatoris before them. "I seek truth, nothing else," Cralion declared as Captain Collectors surrounded him in silent witness. The chained figure's gaze flicked towards the sigil, a spasm of terror crossing his masked visage, before he was violently restrained from attempting anything more. As Cralion approached to administer justice and interrogation, a spectral voice echoed through his mind. "Expiate. Expiation must be made." With those chilling words resonating within him, Brother Captain Cralion knew that this would not end as it had for countless others before him. The sigiled dead now hung between them, a dark and heavy thing. He spoke with a voice devoid of emotion or hope. "Expiate." The chained figure began to weep. In his sobs, he pleaded through the mask. Cralion stepped closer, his own resolve as unyielding as stone, and drew back the hood that had hidden all sight from him since before memory. What he saw chilled him more than any spectral whisper or warped thing. A face marred by self-mutilation, scar tissue where eyes should have been, and the telltale signs of incomplete binding, traces only visible to those attuned to such horrors. A silent scream echoed in Cralion's soul, a mirror to what surely racked this man before him. "This is expiate?" he questioned softly, more a whisper laced with bitter irony than an interrogation. Captain Collectors began circling around them like hawks. One brought forth a small knife and held it up for inspection. It had been used to carve the sigils into many faces, some still bearing the mark, and by its craftsmanship was designed to rend flesh from bone in ways that would not be swiftly healed nor mercifully silent. With no further words, Brother Captain Cralion reached out with one hand and gripped the edge of a stasis pod. He forced open the cover, a miasma of preservative fluids and psychic residue escaping into the air, and thrust his other hand toward Expiate's face. The masked figure flinched but could not look away as cold. Precise fingers painted an identical sigil upon his scars. The Captain Collectors halted their grim work. Time seemed to stretch into the abyssal void between heartbeats. Cralion felt a shift, the psychic weight of unspoken horrors pressing down on him. and he knew that expiate would serve as both penance and witness, bound now to this moment for all eternity. Expiation made, he declared in a toneless voice, as the ship's astropaths watched silently from their crystal cages. By your submission, we are reminded of our own. An eerie stillness settled over Erebus. Captain Collectors turned away and filed out one by one. Each face obscured to both Expiate and Brother Captain Creelian. Expiation's mask fell away, revealing the raw flesh beneath, a grim testament to his binding. He looked up, a wordless plea for understanding in eyes that no longer saw but comprehended all too well. Creelian stepped back. He felt no triumph nor relief, only an ever-deepening chasm of despair swallowing what little hope had dared cling within him. Turning on heel and withdrawing with the sigillum imperatoris secure at his chest, Brother Captain Creelian knew that expiation would forevermore be a part of him, a shadow cast by just how far into darkness he himself might fall. In silence, through warp whispers and cold light, they both took their first steps on diverging paths. One toward the inevitable embrace of oblivion, one toward whatever grim duty awaited beyond this accursed star.